Arwen and I have a message for you this morning, don't we? Yes, we do. Thank you, baby. Okay. Um, if you're trying to change anything in your life, there are three things you need to remember to change anything. And if you remember this process, then it's going to be much easier to make the changes that you want to make. So the three steps, FAR, FAR, that's how you can remember it. It's focus, action, and resistance. So three things you need to do to change. The first one is focus on what you want. No matter what it is you're trying to do, if you don't stay focused in the right direction, you'll wander. You'll not be crystal clear on where you're going and what you're doing. And I've seen this a lot, even with like people that are great action takers. They can do a lot. They're not focused on what they want. They just take a lot of action. That's where a lot of busy work gets done, where you're answering emails instead of building new systems. You're being reactive in your day because you're just not focused where you want to be. So know what your goal is all the time. Even in Star Wars Episode 1, Qui Gon Jinn says, "Your focus determines your reality." So say what you want about that movie, but that one quote is worth watching the whole darn thing, Jar Jar Binks and everything. But that's piece number one. Focus on what you want. By the way, if you do any vision boards, affirmations, visualizations, all that kind of stuff, does not rewire your brain significantly. All it does is get you focused on what you want. So whatever wiring you currently have, it gets it all focused in that direction. So it does not release the resistance. They're not great manifestation tools if you're really trying to reach a brand new level of life. They just keep you focused. So sorry to burst your bubble on that. If you were a very positive thinker. And I know this because I worked the heck out of those things and they did not change me significantly. They just kept me focused in the right direction. So know when to use which tools. Anyways, that's number one. Focus on what you want. Number two is action. You got to take action. We live in a real world with real bodies interacting with real things all over the place and real doggies, right? And if we remember that, action is what moves the needle and makes the biggest movements in our world. So you don't have the luxury of just meditating and wishing for money and riches and abs and all that stuff that we want. It's not enough to just focus on it and meditate and hope that it shows up. We do have to do things in the real world based on what we want. So that's probably not news to you, but it's a good reminder. The third one, remember, it's FAR. If you want to go far, you want to remember these three things: focus, action, and then releasing your resistance. And this is the inner resistance. These are the things that keep you from taking action. These are the things that keep you as your old self. So it's hard to step into the new version of you. One of my favorite quotes was, I don't even know who said it, your new life will cost your old one. There's a lot of old stuff and old stories and old baggage that keep you stuck or slow when you're trying to really move forward and do big things in the world. And this is why I love working with action takers. I mentioned that before, because if you're really able to take action, you're able to get focused, you can get a lot done, but you might feel like you're spinning your wheels. And all we got to do is get you back on the track, get the obstacles out of the way, get the resistance gone, and just zoom, like you take off. And these stories can be reasons that you're playing small or staying safe or people pleasing or procrastinating. All those things are symptoms of inner stories that hold you back, right? Probably stuff from your childhood or from your last business. I've got some stuff that I'm still working on from when my last business failed that still they hurt sometimes, and so I'm actively working on resolving that. And every time I move one of those inner resistance stories out of the way, suddenly the action becomes almost effortless. It just happens because I know what I want, I know the actions to take, and they just move. And you can do that too. It's really simple to dig in, find those stories, and release them. And so and if you've read my book, all these steps are wrapped up. The steps I said in the book were GORI, GORI. And if you follow any of my meditations or have read the book, you can use the same process every damn day to move all three pieces of this puzzle: the focus, the action, and releasing the resistance or rewriting your stories. G in the GORI process is goal. What's your goal? What are you focused on? So it's the first thing I ask you to do when you're going through my negative mindset method. Then O, what are the obstacles? What's going to keep you from doing that? And then R is releasing those resistances, right? Releasing those obstacles, finding where they are internally. So if you move them, suddenly the action becomes inspired and easy. And that's the I in GORI, is inspired action. So if you remember those three things: focus, action in rewriting your stories, releasing resistance. There's a lot of R words we can put there, but it's far. If you want to go far, you want to do those three things, then life gets a heck of a lot easier. The only extra, the little asterisk that I put on this is sometimes we're trying to focus on the wrong problems, or we don't quite see the blind spots that we need to work on. So whenever I feel like I'm spinning my wheels, even though I'm focusing on all three pieces of this puzzle, that's when I go talk to my coaches or my friends who are coaches, people that are really good at spotting the patterns and looking for blind spots. So that's another helpful piece of this puzzle if you need to figure out why you ain't moving as fast as you want. So there it is. Focus on what you want. Take action towards what you want, and then find the resistance. What is it that's keeping me from getting what I want? And what internally is keeping me slow and stuck? Release that resistance, rewrite those stories, and you have no choice but change in very positive directions the way that you want to go. So give it a shot. Let me know if you got questions, and stay focused, my friends.